Let me fix my light a little bit. Let me see. I am live now. Does your birth certificate have monetary value? That's my question to you. It's all good though. Maybe we'll figure it out here in a few minutes. That's too bright, isn't it? Hello, Abine RBJ88 channels. You are first. Madman Serpents, how are you doing? Long time no see, Madman Serpents. Good to see you, my friend. What have you been up to? You been working? I hadn't been seeing them serpents eating them rabbits and them rats and all that stuff. What have you been doing, my friend? Super Dave's still here. I was wondering, and I was going to ask you, do you think your birth certificate has monetary value? I'm going to do a little bit of small investigation here, and I'm going to find out. I missed your lives, bro, working like crazy. Yes, sir, you missed my lives, man. I hadn't seen you in what? 8 months, something like that. For a while there, you was going live. Yep. And I was coming over a little bit and watching you. I do a little bit of investigations now. I watch the weather and do all kind of stuff. Think, the new climate change, just whatever's going on. The CDC is supposed to vote to whether if your children in school going to have to take that pokey dokey. Hello, Geneva Cordoba. Good to see you, my friend. I want to ask you, does your birth certificate have monetary value? Heidi's here and there. Hello from Washington State. Filipino Raquel TV. It's good to see you, and good evening from America. It's 9:00 p.m. It's dark outside on the East Coast. Here in America, no pokey dokey. Yeah, I think they're going to have the results of their voting tomorrow. But I don't want to get into that. I want to ask you, do you think your birth certificate has monetary value? And I have a few things picked and a couple comments from somebody else. And I'm going to show you a picture or two. And I want you to decide if your birth certificate is printed on bond paper. Did you know that? Your birth certificate is printed on bond paper. It has a number, just like money would have. Is this making sense to y'all? Jim Davison, hello. Lynette, the minute you are born, you are bought by different people. I used to know the link to find out who bought you, but I can't remember. Mike Smith, Lynette, yes, your birth certificate has value. It don't have no value to you. You can't cash it in. You can't get no money for it. Who do you think it has value for? And how much is it worth? let's answer some of these questions tonight. What is the value of your birth? What is the value of your life? You can't, Jim Davidson. I could prove it to you. You got to Google it. Everything's on Google. Some people have tried and went to jail for that, y'all. This is an open discussion. Yes, I've seen in the past where people have tried to pay bills with their birth certificate and they ended up in jail, y'all. Crooked politicians. Birth certificates on average are worth $1 million or more. Well, let me get a little start here by this man's. I got a whole video on it. I knew this would be controversial, y'all. That's why I want you to answer. Do you think it has value on your birth certificate? Does it have monetary value? All right, let me look at this guy right here. Let's make that's why we're going to be here and make a determination. If your birth certificate has value. Y'all funny, y'all. I mean, I have a little evidence to prove maybe it does, but I don't think it does for me. If it did, I'd go ahead and draw $1 million from it if I could, but I don't think I can, y'all. All right, this guy here, he points out something here about your birth certificate. No value after the pokey dokey. All right, I want you to see this guy now for real. I'm going to start the volume. He points out something here. He's showing his birth certificate. He's covered the numbers up. All right, I want to start it right from the beginning. I was hoping a few more people would come in, but it's all good. Maybe somebody else will show up. All right, here we go.
Yo, this is absolutely nuts. Did you know this about the birth certificate? Most birth certificates are printed on bond paper. I'm going to show you mine for proof. Now, what's interesting about the birth certificate, it has a serial number and it has a barcode on it. Now, if you look down there, it says Northern Banknote Company, which is really interesting. So let's look up the word banknote, see what that means. Wall Street words. Banknote. Currency issued and guaranteed by a bank. The sole issuer of banknotes in the United States is the Federal Reserve Bank. Yo, this is absolutely nuts.
All right.
You know this about the birth certificate? Most birth certificates.
Could y'all hear that?
I'm going to show you mine.
Did y'all hear that? If you didn't, let me turn it up one more time. Maybe I'm not getting a good start. I couldn't hear it that good. Let's check the volume on this. It is down a little bit. I couldn't hardly hear it. But this guy here, he points it out pretty good. And I have a few more things to offer here, y'all. So let's don't make no determinations yet. Social Security card. Birth certificates were made by the government to put us. I'm going to show you the value of life, too. Filipino Raquel TV, hello. Yeah, they have a value on your life. A dollar value, monetary dollar value. All right. I turned the volume. I'm going to play this again now, y'all. I want to stop it. This guy here, he pointed out something. So this is what got me started on it tonight.
Did you know this about the birth certificate? Most birth certificates are printed on bond paper. I'm going to show you mine for proof. Now, what's interesting about the birth certificate, it has a serial number and it has a barcode on it. Now, if you look down there, it says Northern Banknote Company, which is really interesting. So let's look up the word banknote and see what that means. Wall Street words. Banknote. Currency issued and guaranteed by a bank. The sole issuer of banknotes in the United States is the Federal Reserve Bank. Yo, this is absolutely nuts. Did you know this about the birth certificate? Most birth certificates are printed on bond paper.
All right, bond paper. The Federal Reserve Bank issues bond paper. All right, that's one piece of evidence tonight. My question is to you, is your birth certificate worth any money, y'all? Is it monetary? It's not monetary to you. I don't feel like it is. Jim Davison, this is controversial, but I think if I could get some money, I would get some money, y'all. Hello to Bishop Gander. Angela B, nobody ever got the money though. Vicky, hello. All right, I'm going to continue a little bit more. Let's go right here to the value of life. Your life has a value on it. Dang, this thing got longer, y'all. There is no standard concept for the value of a specific life in economics. Let me show you down here. The value of a statistical life. What did it say? A while ago, I was seeing from the Homeland Security, put the value of life at 7.5 million. I just have to see that again. Here it is. Okay, FEMA. All right, I got your attention. I'm going to start here at the top. The value of life is an economic value used to qualify the benefit of avoiding a fatality. It is also referred to the cost of life, value of preventing a fatality, amplified cost of averting a fatality, value of statistical life. Let me go right here. As such, statistical term, the cost of reducing the average number of deaths by 1. All right. That takes me to the bottom of this paragraph. Watch here, y'all. Value of a statistical life typically range from 1 million to 10 million. For example, the United States FEMA estimated the value of a statistical life at 7.5 million in 2020. Can you see that? All right, that's the value of your life in 2020. I guess if you're born in 2020, all right, this is speculation, y'all. The way I'm wording it, your bond paper, your birth certificate, the value of your statistical life at US 7.5 million in 2020, estimated by FEMA. Brandon Joseph, life cost, that's for sure. Good to see you, my friend. All right, I just showed you that. FEMA estimated the value of a statistical life at 7.5 million in 2020. Y'all see that, right? Okay. So that is the value of your life. from your government. That's from your government, the FEMA department. I'm going to go ahead and exit this. All right, let's look at this. This is the national debt clock. Debt per citizen, $93,480. If the value of your life is $7.5 million estimated by FEMA, and the government is printing all this money. This is just a small amount right here in comparison to your 7.5 million value worth. They're borrowing against, this is mere speculation, against the value of every citizen. Look at the debt clock over here. We're $31 trillion in debt. Debt per citizen, debt per taxpayer. I'm just trying to make sense of this, y'all. I read your comments. You may know more than I know. Like Jim Davidson is saying things that I don't really know. This is very controversial. If you Google it, you'll see that you can't get any money for your birth certificate. But the government and the Federal Reserve has all this power against the value of your birth certificate. Let me show you something else here in a minute. Let me make sure I know which one it is. Birth certificate money, the value of your birth certificate bond. Your birth certificate is printed on bond paper, y'all. And I just showed you from this Twitter guy. It's like a bank note. All right, when you want to know just how much money you have in your government birth certificate, bond, and your Social Security number trust that make up you prepaid exempt reserve account, so that may be able to get money from your stock certificates that are traded on the stock market daily in your legal fiction. Does that even make any sense? Birth certificate money. Modern slaves are no longer shackled in chains. They are now shackled with debt. This is mere conjecture, y'all. Speculation by me on my part. I want to learn from you. That's why I have up there at the top, is there monetary value in your birth certificate? This is bond paper owned by the Federal Reserve. Where's that other picture I had? All right, here's a picture I have. Did you know does your birth certificate have monetary value? All right, let me read this. When you are born, your parents register with the government as a corporation by receiving and signing a birth certificate. In a few years, your corporation will receive a taxpayer ID called a Social Security number. This is so you can be used as a collateral for the government to acquire debt. That's right. You and your labor, time and energy is what backs up the national debt. You are a stock. Help me out, y'all. Help me out. Is that what this is? Debt per citizen right here in the world debt clock. They're borrowing money. All right, let me propose some more questions here. I don't even have anything written down, y'all. I go by memory, by my memory, yeah. Whatever I intend to look at next, whatever my question is to you is all by memory. The way I prepare is I stack this stuff up in my mind. That's why I say my mind becomes blank. And, during a lot of these live streams, I have nothing written down or anything. All right. As far as this population control, the Agenda 2030, say each one that they take out and not to lunch, are they cashing in your birth certificates? Hello, Fanatic Connecting Guru, man. Good to see you. My question to you, Mr. Guru guy, does your birth certificate have monetary value? And who does it have value for? Do you know anything about this, sir? Thank you, Mike. All right, let me look at the rest of it. Is this it? They put all kind of birth certificates online here. They're all printed on bond paper. All of them. They have this big seal. Your parents have signed. You receive a Social Security number. And a lot of these get blotted out. I can't see the bottom of this one, I don't think. Let me see. Your certificate is issued on the basis of information submitted to the applicant is subject to revocation of further information that was received indicating, and I can't see the rest. Register in New York. And of course, you get your birth certificates have a number, just like money. I can show you, let's see. Yeah, there's a number on these birth certificates. I would take a picture of my birth certificate, but I don't want everybody seeing my birth certificate. I'm just going by what I see online. See, look at this number here on this birth certificate. There's a number on here. Just like you'd have a Social Security number. You see that number, y'all. I mean, I don't have a lot of evidence to prove whether or not if your birth certificate is of monetary value. I can only come to the conclusion by looking at this clock here that the debt per citizen, and I just showed you FEMA has estimated the value of each citizen in 2020 of $7.5 million is the value of your life. If you're born in the year 2020, I guess, or if you're alive in the year 2020, I suppose. This is mere speculation and conjecture, y'all, by me. But the proof was in the writing by FEMA, the proof of life. I can still Google that. The value of the life to the government. Value of life to the government. This is something I heard about years ago. Some federal agencies have decided your life expects exceedingly valuable, while the average U.S. household has a net worth of less than $100,000. The Environmental Protection Agency pegs the value of one life at about $10 million. How about that one? $10 million. You can get $1 million life insurance policy. You can get $100,000. You can get $250,000 if you're willing to pay the difference or whatever, however, a monthly fee or whatever the cost is. And some of these policies aren't very cheap. If I honestly would tell y'all, I mean, I have life insurance on me, and it's nothing like $10 million. Nothing like that. The government, with these birth certificates printed on bond paper, has valued your life. I believe, see, I don't know exactly everything. I don't know if it has anything to do with the year that you're born in or the year that you die in. You know, I'm just looking into this and asking you all about the monetary value. And this right here is very telling. This is very telling, y'all. I think it was around about 1 million back when we were born. This is Big Tim. Well, hello, Big Tim. Halloween. How are you doing today, Halloween? Good morning, Lynn Channel. William Newell, what is the value of your life? Is your birth certificate worth monetary value? Social Security. They pay Social Security to a lot of children when their parents die. How are they able to pay out food stamps? Think about all this, y'all. Your birth certificate, when you die, they're cashing in your birth certificate. Your birth certificate is issued by the government. I questioned this 2 years ago about this population control that's going on. If they take out, a lot of people don't like this kind of language. I understand, but it's all I'm trying to do is connect the dots. If they taken out, say they take out 10 million people in 1 year, and you're worth $10 million. Multiply 10 million people by $10 million. What are you going to come up with if the government cashes that in? I'll go right here on my calculator. I don't like some of this language I'm using myself, y'all. All right, $10 million. I don't think my calculator is that big. $10 million times $10 million equals 1E14. I have no clue what that is. I have no clue what that is. Is that 100 trillion? So if they cashing in, or is that 1 trillion? If they cashing in, because say the government is responsible for taking out by approving a lot of these methods that they're using. I got to be quite careful, y'all. But that's pretty much what I have to offer tonight. I wanted to question this in front of you. I do this a lot. Not to prove how stupid I am. I do this to have us thinking, where is all this money? Everybody says they're printing it out of thin air. No one values your life more than the federal government. Bloomberg. I want to apologize if I'm upsetting or fear pointing any one of you. I am very sorry. But I want you to know what Super Dave is thinking. The value of your birth certificate. It's worth something to them. And the value of your life is worth $7.5 to $10 million. They admit it. They put it right here. No one values your life more than the federal government. It's all right. If I can't get everyone thinking, that's fine. People say it's worth something. I don't believe you can cash it in, but I believe the Federal Reserve, the government can cash it in to the Federal Reserve. I believe that. Depending on the year. I even remember Obama in office. I heard this report. I've seen it somewhere that life was worth $7 million. And Obama, you remember our AAA rating went down? That was when the value of life went down to $6 million. So if they raised it back up in 2020 to $7.5 million, which we see right here, they're saying 10 million. Has decided that your life is exceedingly valuable. The debt per citizen is very high. It's almost $100,000 debt we all owe each person per citizen. This is trillions of dollars, $31 trillion national debt clock. if they could say cash in 10 million lives at one time, that would bring this national debt clock probably halfway down quick, because the other half they already have spent. I'm going to call out some names, y'all. Thank you all for coming in. I'm sorry if I made anybody mad. Columbia fan, hello, and thank you for coming in. Hello, Baldy. Good to see you. William Newell, good to see you, sir. Mike Smith, thank you. Lynn Channel, thank you very much. Halloween Life with Maria. Brandon Joseph loves Jesus. God bless you, my friend. John McMullen, don't bonds have a mature date? I know silver certificates have a mature date. Does bonds have a mature date? The mature date would be if your birth certificate would be at the time of your death, wouldn't it? Does bonds have a mature date? Good question. Yes. All U.S. savings bonds have 2 maturity dates. The first is the original maturity date, which is the time it takes to at least double the bond. The second is a final maturity date, which is the latest amount of time the bond will earn interest. Maturity date for the bond can be used as far off as 30 or 100 years. So obviously they can extend your maturity date on your bond paper birth certificate. Does that make any sense? Because it says it right here. Maturity date for a bond can be as far off as 30 or 100 years. The government can do what they want to do. So why would a bond have a longer life unless the government gives it a longer life? Make any sense? Makes a lot of sense. Show me Sasquatch. The source I'm getting it from is all online. All of it. I just showed somebody something. Do I have to pull this back up from Twitter? This guy had pointed this out, and I jumped all over it. I don't know how to look him up, though. Birth certificate. I'm going to try real quick. Value. Let me see. This guy don't pop up. I'm wasting your time. This is the value of my bond. This was taking out of my birth certificate. That was taking out on my birth certificate without my knowledge or consent. How about this one? I don't know if this is real or not, but this says some value and interest and issue price of $5,000. Once a female have a kid, her value decreases. Okay. Yeah, I'm wasting your time on this one. Birth certificate value. Look up your birth certificate value. There's nothing wrong with investigating because the government is spending all this money and the debt per citizen. All you got to do is do what I'm doing and look it up, and you'll discover some ins and outs, and you'll see and you'll wonder. They say we can't cash it in. We can't get any money. That's fine and dandy. I don't really want any money from my birth certificate. Do I have to die to get money from it? So what good would it be to me anyway? The money would belong to the government. Why does the government print all this money and put each one of us in this kind of debt? I'm just a critically thinking person. I never said I know what I'm talking about. I'm asking you, what do you think about some of the evidence that I'm showing you? What good is it going to do them? Well, they can send it over to Ukraine. We can't cash it in, but the government can. Is that what they're doing? They're sending our birth certificate, our money, our value to Ukraine, and they're using this crap that they're using to depopulate the world and the United States and cashing in birth certificates. That's all I'm doing is asking you the question. Does our birth certificates have monetary value? Why would they value our life? Why would they put a dollar value on our life? Why would our birth certificates be printed on bond paper? Why would it have a number? Why would we get a social security number? The maturity date for a bond can be as far off as 30 or 100 years. That's pretty much it, y'all. There's nothing wrong with critically thinking. I am a critical thinker. Birth certificates are federal banknotes. LinkedIn right here. Would you like to see this in red? Why would anyone say such a thing? Why would anyone say such a thing? Can y'all see that? I'm just a critical thinker, y'all. Birth certificates are federal banknotes. We are owned. And when you die, probably depending on your maturity, maybe why. Okay, I'm going to reveal one other thought. The CDC is making a decision to go after school children. That's the Board of Education. You know? And I hate to keep saying all this on my channel here. I could lose my channel. with that thing that they have, all that, the maturity of a person, the value of a life is worth more the younger they are. If you're 90 years old, your birth certificate may not be worth as much. I don't know the scale. I don't know the bracket. I have no idea. Life insurance. It goes up as you get older. If you try to put life insurance on a 90-year-old person, it probably costs you $1,000 a month. But if you put life insurance on a 6-month-old baby, you're going to pay what, $3 or $4 a month. So it probably works in the opposite way. Your birth certificate is probably in a different bracket. And when you pass at 90 years old, that $10 million value on your life is probably in a different bracket and not worth $10 million. Might be worth $1 million. It's just all conjecture, y'all. I'm just proposing questions. I'm just a guy with a laptop and I'm thinking, that's all. If I could find the brackets, we all fall in tax brackets when we go to a job, depending on how many dependents you have and all that. These numbers work in different styles and different brackets for a reason. I didn't mean to scare anybody off. I had a good crowd in, and people are scared to death, ain't they? I got scaredy cats all over my damn channel, y'all. The truth scares people, y'all. Y'all have a good night. And thank you all for coming in. I looked it up by my birth certificate and the numbers on the back of your Social Security card. You could see what they valued you at about 10 years ago. I am sure you still can. I am glad you're asking questions about this. People need to know. As you see, people's leaving and they're scared. Think about it. Look it up. Do your own research. I just showed numbers, national debt, each person. I remember back in the Bill Clinton years, each person didn't owe me like $39,000. Now look what each person owes, $93,000. Y'all have a wonderful night, y'all. And thank you all for coming. I'm just a critical thinker, y'all.